Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, one and all, to yet another episode of the Whick and Omar Show. We probably need a better name for it, but for now, that's what we're going with. So I know we were going to do this on Tuesday, but my Monday had to move to Tuesday, so I had to do some, shuffling around here. So you get us today. Tomorrow is Kick or Keep, so that should be fun. But we have a wonderful guest on with us today, someone who was gracious enough to kind of join us last minute, so to speak. We have Foodshops. Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing perfectly good. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on. More than happy to come on here last minute, of course.
Right.
Sorry for food in my mouth.
It's all good. How are you, Omar? How's life with how's the Omar side of the Wick and Omar show doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you, Wick. The week was great, feeling great. I'm gonna talk like white people do. I feel stoked. They always use that word,
Wait,
stoked.
is that how you
Huh?
think white people talk? What other things do white people say, Omar? I'm
When I
curious.
watch sometime video, it says, he was smitten with her. Smitten. Who is the word smitten anymore? And I feel stoked. I said, what stoked? What the stoked? Like, is it, I'm like, I feel stoked. Everything's good. No, I had a good week, health wise. Family's all right. That's what matters most. Looking forward to the show all week, and everything's a-okay.
Good.
Fantastic.
People are
How
asking
are you? What's her name? Food what?
Foodshops, right? That's how you
Food shop. How you doing, food shop?
No, it's actually fish poop.
Fish poop?
Mm-hmm.
That means that you're the shit of the fish, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, that's great. All right.
I don't
What's going on?
know. Okay. First of all, my chat's asking how much it would take to get you to dance like a white person, Omar. Like, you've talked like a white person. How much would they need to pay you, or pay us, I should say, in order to dance like a white person? I'm curious.
I don't mind. Don't give it to Wick. Pay him whatever you want, and I get up. I can't. I don't watch the chat. You know that, right?
You don't
Because
watch the chat?
Me
I don't.
neither. I don't watch it
I
either.
don't watch it. I'm gonna get distracted, and then I start to perform for them. Every time they say something, and then I'm responding to them, not to the show. You understand what I'm saying?
True.
It's wise.
Yeah.
Normally, it's wise. I agree with you. Like,
Yeah, but you have to because you're running the show. Me, I don't care about my. But me, because sometimes somebody will say, "Oh, Omar sounds smart." Then I start to talk a lot. Oh, smart. That was stupid. Omar said. Then I feel bad. You understand? So I'll get up as soon as they donate. Let me know. I don't know how to dance, but I get up and white people don't know how to dance. You just
It'll be authentic then, right? So,
yeah, it'll be like yeah.
Well, you look like you would do it for $5. Would you do it for $5?
I think I was a little more. I'm good looking.
Yeah, let's add a 0 onto that. Let's get at least 50.
Well, let's see. You look pretty good with the glasses, but what if you take the glasses off?
Oh no, you know why? Because I have these are prescription glasses.
Keep them on. Keep them on. Just keep them on a little bit, okay? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you try to say? I'm ugly?
No, just keep them on. Okay, just.
That's messed up.
No, what she's saying is you have an intensity about your eyes, and
your eyes are very beautiful,
it.
and it dazzles me. So
you
the
tell?
moment you take your glasses off, yeah.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm blind, so
You are?
I can't see.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying, Wick?
Wow, that's I did not know actually.
Yeah. Well, for the day.
You didn't know?
No, I didn't know he was blind. I don't know how serious he's being either right now, so I can never tell.
Isn't Omar your bestie or some shit?
Yeah, and I feel stoked.
Am I allowed to cuss?
I feel smitten today.
No fucking cussing. Okay. No fucking
smitten. That's not cursing.
No,
I feel good. You could curse, right?
Yeah, you can curse. I'm joking. That was I was kidding. With the that's why I added the curse word in my.
So how was your week? This week was your birthday. Happy birthday, first of all, because belated birthday.
Oh,
he had a good show. He had everybody and anybody. It was like the zoo for a couple of hours here. I left. I came back. He's naked. I said, "What the hell did they do to Wick? Why they got him?
Somebody got
naked. Gun to his head or something?"
That's misinformation. I wasn't naked. I just took my shirt off because they paid me to do so.
Yeah.
And,
he was doing. I heard he for $50 he was doing private shows.
What age are you hitting now, Wick?
say one more time.
What age are you hitting now, Wick?
I 40. I turned 40.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
Yeah.
I guess.
So fish
Yes.
poop. How long you been streaming?
I actually started 2.5 months ago or so.
Okay, great.
Never
Welcome.
really had any online presence before that, but
How you doing? You doing good?
yeah, I'm doing good. It's a lot of trial and error, but I've just been grinding away every single day, no sleep.
you-
Just been editing vast majority of the time, and
Oh,
always trying to content.
yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do that in the beginning. I don't edit nothing. I just do the show. I don't care how it comes out because people mostly don't watch the whole thing anyway. When you look at the analysis, you spend you to do a 2 hour show, then you're lucky if you get 3-4 minutes out of them.
Yeah,
That's, yeah,
by now, most of the people have already dropped off. Congratulations.
yeah.
So for the people who have stayed,
We haven't even gotten to the content yet. We haven't even gotten to what we're actually going to talk about today.
Well, Wick has a lot of loyal following. He's like what is it called? The Charlie Manson of our time.
The Charles Manson of our time.
who was that guy again?
He's a guy who started a cult and murdered a bunch of people.
He's the spiritual father of America's first movement, Helter Skelter movement.
Oh,
yeah, I don't need that in my life, but that's okay. That's okay.
No, I'm just joking. I said you have that magic on us. Anyway, so what's up? Well, you said you're going to talk about reactionary, right?
Yeah. There's a few topics I wanted to talk about today, and it's going to be kind of a very kind of go with the flow kind of day, gang. Just letting you know. But I wanted to talk about React content. I'm curious. Is it ethical? Do you think React content is ethical? Is it ethical to take someone's video that they spent hours working on, editing, getting guests for if it's a guest show, or putting together the cut, writing a script for if it's that kind of show, watch it in its entirety on your stream, re-upload and react to it, with that's crazy every few minutes.
Yeah.
Re-upload it to your YouTube.
Yeah.
Is that an ethical thing to do? What do you think? I want to give our guest here first shot at this. Foodshops. What do you think?
Yeah.
Is that ethical?
So, there's layers to this shit. Okay, stop. I need to stop doing that. Okay, so, like for example, if you're just, I know back in the early 2000s, like I think in the early 2000s, I think there are some React streamers like Jay or something like Jai or whatever, like wherever the shit their name is, right? And all they would do is that they would just sit there and go like, and that's all they would do. That's literally all they would do. And they wouldn't add nothing to the material, and they would just re-upload it.
Yeah,
That, in my opinion, is pretty shitty, right? Because you're not really adding anything new to it. But in my opinion, if you're pausing it literally like every 10 seconds or every 15 seconds or every 30 seconds, all right, I do that, okay? And then you're actually adding commentary to it, then that's totally fair. I think I totally support that, right? However, even then, I think you should be responsible that if you're making money off of that there should be some kind of IP off of that, right? For example, I was discussing this yesterday on another panel. I was arguing with a bunch of ANCAPs and NCOMs about this, about IP. And I think that whoever has made the original work, who put the effort into it, should get a portion of the profit that streams down from the reaction video. You take part of the video and you add like commentary to it. I think that some of the profits that you make from the reaction should go to you. That's it. It's not a very hot take.
I agree and disagree with Fish. I think if you put on the whole video, and that's wrong. I mean, the whole segment. I mean, if you break it into segment, like certain part of the video that's interesting or that you want to react to, like something you don't agree with, it's okay, like newsworthy stuff. Like, for example, if Wick had a 2 hour stream, I should not be able to put 2 hours straight. I could do like, a 5 minute here, 3 minute here, just react to certain part of the video that's interesting. You understand? And I think you could react to like newsworthy items like the Young Turks, like Tim Pool was an idiot, the Daily Wire crime family, all that stuff. You have to react and answer in real time to these people because they lie, and you have to expose them for what they are. But if it's a show about variety, like people just talking about knitting or something like that, there's no commentary on that. It has to be newsworthy. Or if it's a debate on a certain topic, that is interesting. Like, I mean, like what's going on, like politically, stuff like that. You can react to that. I mean, it's good and it's healthy, and there's a whole industry to that. Maybe 40%, 50% of YouTube is reactionary videos. Yeah,
I don't know the percentage, right? I don't know how much of content on YouTube specifically is React. I know that at least in Twitch, most content that I am aware of is some sort of either a React content or gaming content, which kind of is React content as well. Like if you are playing a game and then engaging with the game and reacting to the game as you play, that's, I think, a form of React content. I think it's a little different, but especially with certain types of games. So, for example, if I am playing a Telltale game, are you guys familiar with those, right? The Last of Us, or not, they didn't do The Last of Us. I'm sorry, The Walking Dead. They did The Wolf Among Us. They're story-driven games where the gameplay is secondary, the story is primary. And the whole point of playing the game, as most consumers buy it, is to experience the story, right? You get to kind of have an interactive story where you experience it, you kind of go through it. I think that in that case, like a streamer who is doing that, that kind of counts as React content to me. What do you guys think?
The gaming is okay because you're doing it, because you're playing the game. So you are performing for the watcher. That's like in real time, whatever it is. But what we're talking about is political reactionary. Like you have big channels, monster channels like the Young Turks. They depend on reactionary videos. The Majority Report with Sam Seder, they depend on these things. Most left wing or left shows depend on reactionary videos, while right wing don't do that. Right wing are straight content. Don't you notice that? We actually
have you not seen the Daily Wire or Ben Shapiro? That's what they do.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You're right. But they don't. They react like to news and stuff like that. We react to them. The stupidity. Like you
No,
understand?
I would say both sides like do all the same. Like they I would say both sort of react equally, you know? And I sort of want to go back to Wick's point about, the video game stuff, right? Like I think I get your similarity comparison, but at the same time it's like I don't exactly find it all that comparable, because when you think of like yeah, I do get that, but for a video game, it does feel like, oh, like it's meant to be okay. It's meant to be okay. You're meant to be having some kind of like React video, or okay, you're making a gameplay video out of it. You're making a gameplay video out of it, right? But then when it comes to something like a documentary, or when it comes to something like a whatever, right? The creator's original intent is you watch a documentary and then you're done, not to completely re-upload it, right? They want the customer to rebuy a new customer rebuys the documentary over and over again. Though I do get your point though, because then you can argue, okay, you want another customer to buy another Telltale game, right? You want another customer to buy another copy, another copy, another copy. So yeah, I do get the similarity, but yeah, there are some differences for sure,
Yeah, I just don't know if the differences matter in the grand scheme of things when it comes to the concept of, is it like, because when we ask, is it ethical to do React content? I guess the question beneath that question is or it begs the question, I should say, that's a better way to put it. It begs the question, what harm potentially does React content do? And I think that most people would point to, and I would point to, is the original creator of the work will not get paid as they otherwise would for their work. Yeah. Now, I do have issues with that. My personal stance is that I think there is a lot of benefits to react content for the person whose content is being reacted to. Like when I have someone react to my content that's much bigger than me, I see a bump. I see a bump in viewers. I see a bump in donos. I see a bump in attention. And this is all good things for a channel like mine, right? All of these are good things. But this depends as well, right? On people actually letting people know where to find me. So
correct.
When you are doing React content, it's courteous to provide a link to the original source, to provide a shout out to the original source at the beginning and the end of your reaction videos. And also, if you re-upload it into the little descriptor or whatever of your re-upload, I think that these things are courteous to do, and I think it mitigates some of the potential harms that React content can do. So one of the harms that I see happening with playing certain types of games, such as the story-based games, is I know for a fact that there are games that I would have otherwise bought had I not been able to watch the whole thing be played on a YouTube video.
Yes.
So, given that they're doing the same kind of harm, what's the difference?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know anything about these video
Fair
games you're talking about.
We'll get to that.
But I do agree with you that they should put it like a credits, like the TVs do. Put some credit on the bottom of the videos, like your channel, every person channel that you use. That's good. That's a good idea. You know what I'm saying?
It is definitely, like, for example, one example I can think of is when I watched like a gameplay of Telltale, the Borderlands version of Telltale's game, right? That one specific game. I remember watching a walkthrough or like a gameplay of that one. The commentary was pretty mid, okay? All right, it was pretty mid, but I remember after watching the entire gameplay of it, I was like, oh man, I guess I can buy the game and explore the other paths of the game because it would change some parts of the outcomes of the story, right? But at the end of the day, is it really changing all that much? No. Is it worth the money to explore the other paths? No. I can just search up the other paths on YouTube as well. Yes. So at the end of the day, I think it's like a net negative for something like that. However, I'm going to tell you this right now. That I can also think of an example where there is some kind of underrated indie gems on Steam where it's not really gameplay based. It's not story based, where it's more gameplay loop based. Like I'm talking about roguelike games, right? So when you come to roguelike games, there's kind of like loop based gameplay. If you showcase that kind of game on YouTube and you show, oh my God, this is a really fun game. It's very addicting. It's like gambling, then people are rushing to buy it. Okay, rushing. I know I personally would, because my favorite genre is roguelike games, right? So if I see anything like that, I'm the first one to buy like a 70 review game, okay? Because I've seen examples where they blow up into something like 2,000 reviews, all the way from 70 to 2,000. By the way, 1,000 reviews, 500 reviews, 200 reviews, 1,000 reviews, 2,000 reviews are the mark of a successful indie game, okay? That's the mark of an extremely successful indie game, okay? So, however, where it might become, however, when it comes to reaction videos, all right, and sorry if I'm going a bit too far now because I'm like moving from subject to subject, but I think I'm pretty organized here, right? But if I'm going to reaction videos, I know that Lemino specifically, because this is a specific example, we're talking about XQC Hassan with Lemino, right? With Lemino, he is a very big content creator when it comes to very high effort documentaries, indie documentaries, and this is like, I'm talking about maximum effort shit, right? He takes months and months to organize all the resources, materials, and sometimes he even digs up stuff that professional documentaries aren't even good at digging up, right? So I know that I already know who Lemino is, so he doesn't even need the exposure anymore. You know what I mean? So I know that when XQC pulls up Lemino, I know that I watch a Lemino video at the same time, and I get an XQC reaction at the same time, right? So even if I watch an XQC reaction to it, with the moment he moves away from that chair, he still lets it play. And by the way, that sort of irks me because he moves away from the chair. He still lets it play. I'm like, why aren't you reacting? You're adding nothing to the video other than the chat reaction to it, right? And it feels sort of weird, you know?
Well, it's low effort. It's low effort stuff.
Low effort.
I think that's
he goes like, whoa, and I'm like, what? I don't even know what you're saying half of the time, you know? And then that's it. I don't feel any motivation to watch the original video unless I'm watching it on my own stream, you know?
So so there's a couple things in chat, right, that I want to talk about. Zephyr Hash for $2 says the reaction itself should be worthy of content. And I think there's something to that. I think that's kind of the take that most people have on this, is that if you're going to do this reaction content, it has to be content in and of itself. It has to be something that people would watch regardless, right? I think that, like, we talk about the word transformative. You have to make the content transformative. And I think that's true. So in a political, let's bring it away from the video game so Omar can play too, right? Bringing it back to the political stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, here, let me give you a specific example that I got frustrated with. Do you all remember CNN's Trump town hall that he did?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Of course.
So
vaguely.
One thing that happened during that kind of was like a little tempest in a teapot for this community was that everyone who watched that live on Twitch got banned. For 3 days to a week, right? They were copyright struck by CNN and banned because they were watching, quote unquote, CNN's proprietary content. I think that was bullshit, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah. Because
again, I think there is a public good to be seen by watching, right? A presidential candidate, a national U.S. presidential candidate, deal with like questions live on air. I think that the value given by others watching it, right, not through CNN Town Hall, but watching their favorite commentator, whether it be I'm Really Important or Destiny or whoever, watch it as well. I think that has a value. And I think that CNN striking people for doing that was obviously legally within their right. But I think that it did everyone a disservice. These people who were watching it, right, watching their commentators, would not have watched this otherwise. They didn't suddenly go to the town hall itself to watch it. Right? They just didn't do that. I think that is where React content has a value. When something is happening live and we want live up-to-date commentary on it, I think that is the most ethical form of React content, where it's more like reporting than it is reacting. Does that make sense?
Of course it makes sense. Yeah. Go ahead. Do you want to go, Fish?
Oh, no, go ahead. I've been talking on
okay. I didn't watch the whole thing. I was pretty upset at CNN for actually giving that piece of shit a platform in the first place. And they lost a lot of viewers, by the way. And there was no need. It was unnecessary. I don't know, because he's going to lie throughout the whole thing. But some on YouTube, I think, reacted to it in real time. They had it live, I think. Certain channel like Pat Pacman and all the other stuff. They always have. I don't know why they did on Twitch. And like you said, CNN is a news organization. It does provide information, but it's also good for us to react as citizens or people who watch something that is impactful, such as Donald Trump, to react to it. Even it's good for the channel, you understand? To advertise for the channel. It works both ways. Like Donald Trump said, any publicity is good publicity. He could say he threw his wife off the roof and said, that's good publicity. They were talking about me on TV for doing it.
Why?
Omar. You know who else is worse? NFL and NBA. One time I put a small video of a guy who he did 64 field goals. Unbelievable. I put it on, boom. Right away the channel got, copyright. I said, oh God, I can't play with these people. No.
Yeah, it's some
Yeah.
some of the companies are very
Yeah.
very
They're very.
strict with how they
Yeah.
rely. And again, it's within their legal right, and I think it should be
Yes.
within their legal right. I think it just does people a disservice and does themselves a
Right.
disservice in a real way. I wanted to ask you though, Omar, and I'm curious what
Yeah.
you think as well, Foodshops.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you were mad at CNN for giving Trump
Yeah.
a platform. Can you elaborate on
Yes.
that?
Well, first of all, the election is about 2 years away. That's first of all.
Hmm.
Was it necessary, or was it just trying to feed off Fox problem with Tucker Carlson getting fired and trying to do a grab of the audience? Because they had this guy named Litch, I don't know, that new CEO, they fired him already, who's trying to change the whole platform of CNN. What CNN ended up was they never gained any people from Fox. Whatever they had, they lost to MSNBC. Now, I used to watch both channels. I felt betrayed because they are repeating the same thing they did in 2016. Donald Trump 24 hours a day, free advertising. Donald Trump did this, Donald Trump did that. Even MSNBC is doing it. They are repeating the same thing they did. They're giving this guy oxygen 24 hours a day, where they should just give him a couple of minutes and let him just die away someplace in some fucking large Mar-a-Lago, how you say it? Mar-a-Lago, whatever that thing is.
Mar-a-Lago, I think. I'm
Mar-a-Lago.
not sure.
Yeah, this is the problem I had with that. I was upset as a person who is a consumer of that channel, or who feels that my politics is aligned with that channel. I don't care if they could invite Chris Christie, the other stuff, even the DeSantos, people who make sense, who's going to be able to feel embarrassed if they lied. But this guy was lying the whole 1 hour and a half. He even called the lady a nasty, nasty person. What's her name? Kathleen Connell, whatever her name is. Nobody wanted to do it. They took that girl and let her do it because nobody wanted to do it. The big guys like Jake Tapper and all the big shots. Now, she got a show out of it at nighttime. Was it necessary? Don't give this guy any oxygen. He's hateful. He's a racist. He tried to overthrow the government of the United States. He has 75 felonies chasing him right now, more to come. This guy is like the garbage of the garbage. Why would you give him any oxygen? Would you give a mass murder a 1 hour town hall?
I mean, we write books about them. They
Yeah,
have biographies that they put out. They do
So
have CNN special, not CNN specials, but 60 Minutes. You remember 60 Minutes would do interviews with them at times with serial killers, like literally serial
10 minutes,
killers, right?
10 minutes or 5 minutes, and it's scripted. But when you give this guy, just let him have diarrhea of the mouth for almost an hour and a half, and he's not held to any truths. He'll tell a lie, bluntly tell it. He doesn't care. He enjoys lying.
okay,
Go
Omar.
ahead.
So wait, let me get my facts right first. Okay, so this is something that happened during his presidential term, and has CNN always gave him a platform in
It
the
was
past?
to be clear, it wasn't his presidential term. It was last year. It was in 2022, or maybe it was earlier this year. Maybe it was earlier this year.
Yeah, 2 months ago.
But it was
it was 2 months ago.
yeah. But
Oh,
he had announced
interesting.
his candidacy for presidency. He has had announced, I am running for president of the United States in 2024, and so CNN did a live town hall. $5 from Zephyr Hash. Let me get this, and then I want to hear from Foodshop's opinion on platforming, on CNN platforming Trump here. Zephyr Hash says, you can react to live content without putting it up on screen. Sports channels do it all the time, but political channels can't. I mean, I suppose they could have, but if you have to kind of like jump through hoops and I want it to be as easy as possible. Let's say that. But Foodshops, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So, I understand what you're saying. Like, I understand, like, oh, you shouldn't platform this politician, you shouldn't platform this politician, and even with ex politicians, you shouldn't platform them, right? But at the end of the day, CNN is a journalism organization, and when it comes to politics in our country, I already feel like we already have this kind of tension where, oh, we shouldn't platform this guy, we shouldn't platform this guy, and we have, I think, when it comes to an ex-president, it's not really that big of a deal at the end of the day if we platform somebody like an ex-president, especially if it's true that we have platformed before, like serial killers, ex-convicts, people who have been like gang rapists. Can I say that? I don't know if I get. Yeah, sure. But like, so like, if we have platform like literal like Jeffrey Dahmer type people, like why can we not platform people like Donald Trump? And in the future, people can totally attack us and go, "Hey, why didn't you platform this guy in the past? Like, why isn't CNN like did that in the past? See, this is censorship. This is actually what is happening, But now we can, in the future, if they actually confront with us and they say, "Oh, these news media, they're censoring us. They're censoring our views," we can just go, "Hey, CNN, even after President Trump ended his term, we have actually platformed him, and that's something, that's a point that we have acquired, right? And even then, that he spews hate, spews this misinformation, spews this whatever, right? This is like, we already knew that he spewed this misinformation in the first place. This isn't anything that's new, This is just like, yeah, that's it.
Okay, first of all, the presidential election are 2 years away. It was not necessary yet to give him a town hall on an election. That's about 2 years away. We could say 6 months away, or 4 months away, or even 7 months away. Second of all, it's not the same thing you say we give serial killer. Second is a documentary, maybe 3 minutes. This is a town hall meeting. And to add insult to injury is to bring people who support him to clap every time he made fun of a person that he raped or allegedly raped or proved into court that he molested, whatever, or sexually attacked, and he was found guilty in a court of law. And to bring people that will clap or laugh at his jokes is not real. The channel was not professional in the first place. First of all, if they want to do, they should have brought a diverse audience. Second of all, don't give him an hour and a half for what? He was lying the whole time. He was just telling lies, and he's feeding his base. The problem is he's dangerous, not to me or to you or to Wick, because we know he's lying. Whatever he's saying, we don't believe what he's saying. But to the people who think he's a god, the cult that follows him and will do violence in his name, this man is very dangerous. He's a very, very dangerous man. He should not be able to go back to the White House, no matter what. He should never go back to the Oval Office of the United States. He will succeed the next time. I don't know what's going to happen.
So
yeah, but this isn't.
Oh, go ahead, please.
Yeah.
No, you're our guest, Foodshops. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Oh, okay, all right. But I was just gonna say, right, this isn't the same as going back to the Oval Office, being platformed on CNN for, what'd you say, like 1.5 hours, right?
Yeah.
If he has been platformed for CNN for 1.5 hours, this is not the same as going back to the White House. It would be terrible if he had another presidential term. I totally agree with you on that, right? But this isn't the case. He has been given a platform, and I believe this is a country where we should be exercising, our free speech, right? And even though this isn't like a government kind of related federal kind of thing, this is obviously a journalistic organization, not the same, right?
Okay.
I think when it comes to deplatforming, we have gone a bit too far. We shouldn't be setting a precedence on, oh, what should we platform or not platform on CNN. Instead, we should be challenging people to think, okay, is this valid? Is this not valid or not? And the only thing that I would probably agree with is that we should probably have somebody on the stage to challenge him, like for example, we can probably meet on the middle ground where, okay, we can have a moderator or somebody like a challenger go, hey, by the way, you can't just spew your bullshit. We're gonna ask questions. Hey, we're pulling up some facts. This is not right. This is not true. This is not right. This is not true. That's it. But otherwise, I don't think that we should just go, oh, by the way, we think you're lying. You're not allowed on our platform, right? Because the definition of who we think is lying changes over time. And what like journalistic organization thinks like, oh, you could be lying or not changes over time, right? Even if we are held to journalistic integrity, like who knows, right? Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so here's my take on this, right? I disagree with Omar on this, I think, almost completely, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, no, Omar.
I think that, well, I agree that it would be disastrous if he won a second term. I'm with you there. But the way to stop him from winning a second term has to happen at the polls. Like, we can't put our thumb on the scales in this kind of deplatforming way because it doesn't work. First of all, it's not going to stop him. As you said, he has people who will follow him anywhere. If CNN does not grant him a platform and stops covering him whatsoever, he doesn't go away. He doesn't disappear. We just stop seeing him. Me, you, Foodshops, perhaps, right? Because we're not in that cult. But his cultists, if you want to call them that, will continue to watch him, but they'll be able to watch him in a setting that is entirely unchallenged. Now, we say that the town hall should have challenged him more, and I saw most of it.
It did.
The moderator did challenge him.
Oh, there was a moderator. Okay.
Yeah, or not the moderator. It was the interviewer.
One second. The only way to stop him is to cut off his mic once in a while. She couldn't do nothing. I felt sorry for her. You saw. Go ahead, Wick.
Yeah. So it was an unfortunate kind of scenario where, again, I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I suspect one of his conditions was that he got to approve the audience member. I suspect that was one of his conditions. Now, we talk about the general election being in 2024, sure, but we forget that the Republicans are having a primary election far sooner than that, right? So that is something that is happening coming up, Ron DeSantis versus Trump. And I think that having the Republican Party be able to see their prospective candidates on the stage and taking questions isn't that good. It's a good thing. I guess I would ask you, Omar, given that you view Trump as a dangerous kind of demagogue,
dangerous.
Do you think that we should be having presidential debates between him and Joe Biden? Yeah, or is that giving him a mic?
No, but when he becomes the problem is there's a lot of moving objects going on right now. We don't even know he's going to be indicted. He's going to be convicted of felonies. How does that work? You know, if you can't get a job as a janitor in school because you have a misdemeanor, how are you going to get the presidency with 75 felonies? Yeah, he should be able to debate if it's the final, for the presidency. Let him go on the stage and debate. But right now, that is 2 years away. Unnecessary to give him an hour and a half. Give him like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. This is prime time time. It's like 30-second commercials, like what, $500,000 or $200,000 or $100,000. That's a lot of minutes, and he's bad. The problem is he doesn't have an ideology. That's why he's dangerous, because he doesn't have a brain. You understand? Because a smart person, you could deal with an intelligent person. He knows how to handle his business. What he was doing on January 6th, that was like Marvel movie shit. You have the fake electors moving. You had you bring the crowd to get him killed, whatever, or create an incident where 20, 50 people get killed, or 100 people get killed by the National Guard. Thank God the National Guard wasn't there.
Wait, what? 100 people?
No. He was trying to see what Donald Trump was trying to do that day. He needed to create a moment of havoc or chaos, because he needed to declare a state of emergency. When he sent those people, the deep state, whatever they call it, they already knew what he was trying to do. So they didn't put the National Guard there. So they just let those people run around the building till they got tired and went home. But imagine if they had responded by shooting them, because that's the capital of the United States.
They did shoot someone. They saw Ashley Babbitt, I think was her name.
Yeah, no, but you had 535 members of Congress. You had the vice president. Imagine if those like 10,000 Arabs or blacks, who've been massacred out there, you understand? But the whole idea, Donald Trump's was trying to create an event where a lot of people either will get killed inside at the hand of the crowd or outside. Then that chaos will be created. He gets to declare, in his mind, to get to declare a state of emergency or martial law, whatever. He was trying to create chaos that day, Wick. He had a lot of moving objects going at the same time. You had the fake electors. They were trying to take the vice president away. You got to give credit to Mike Pence. He didn't want to get in that car. He knew if he had gotten that car, he wasn't coming back that day to certify the ballots or the electoral college ballots from those states. He didn't want to get even the. Okay, Even the Secret Service phones were deleted that day. All the texts, all those was deleted because we had to clean up the phone. Imagine if that was a Democratic president and they deleted all those texts they were doing. There was a lot of shit going on, and there was a purpose. They were trying to overthrow the United States government that day. I don't know how the military was going to react to that or what was going to happen, but the whole purpose that day was to create chaos, death, and destruction. Either the crowd kills 10 or 20 congressmen or women, or the National Guard or the Capitol Police kill 50, 60 of these young people who are misled, whatever they are. And there will be a national reaction. Like the Helter Skelter. Remember we started the conversation when Charles Manson wanted to kill that lady and create a race war? Same brain, same mind. That Donald Trump.
What do you think, Foodshops? What do you think of that?
Well, I think it actually turned out reasonably well. Like, even though this entire situation was crazy, only I don't know, 5 people ended up dying or something like that. Like, yeah, even though the entire, why,
it was right?
Chaotic, sure, but
the state pulled back. The state did not react. The state didn't want to fight. They just let them run around, took shit in the rooms. They had their pictures and picked them up later. If the state had a knee-jerk reaction,
what I knew, they definitely did try their best, right? Did they not? I'm pretty sure a policeman was killed.
I want you guys to be honest. If there were 10,000 black people trying to get in there, what was going to happen that day? Be honest.
Here's the thing.
I don't know. That's a question. All 5,000 Arabs, like me, Muslims.
I have crazy no doubt.
There will be so much blood. It'll take them 2 months to clean the blood off those sidewalks. The state did not react. The state knew what Donald Trump was trying to do. They knew he was trying to create chaos and overthrow the government. They refused to bring the National Guard the day before. They knew what he was trying to do. They said, let them have their fun. Let them run around like idiots. We got their pictures and all that stuff all over the cameras, and we'll pick them up later. So that was a good move they did. They outsmarted Donald Trump and his chaos behavior. Donald Trump is an evil genius. Go ahead.
Damn, I never knew this topic would come up. I would have done more research on this if I knew this topic would come up. Okay. But if I remember correctly, right? I'm pretty sure they were pretty damn unprepared. But it's not like they knew and then on purpose they didn't prepare enough, right? It's that they weren't prepared enough, and then that's what happened, right? I'm not questioning, oh my god, what if there was 4,000 Arabs or 4,000 black people or whatever that, right? It doesn't matter in that hypothetical, right? But I'm just saying they were just completely unprepared, and police officers still died and people still died. It's they still tried their best, and it is what it is. Sometimes, and I remember there are several points where they let in people on purpose just so they can sort of curtail the flow, let the flow in a little bit, just so they can because if you have a blockage too far, if you just like a dam, right? If you have too much pressure on the dam, then when it finally breaks, the force of the water will be much greater, right? Same concept behind the force of the people on the fences, right? So yeah. But,
I'm going to disagree with both of you here. I don't think look, I agree in the sense that Trump was trying to overturn the election. I absolutely believe that. I don't think that he had a plan beyond rile people up, get them to protest at the Capitol. I think that people took it too far, but I don't think the deep state knew it was going to happen, nor do I think that the institutions were prepared for it happening. And you can see this as in evidence at the kind of uneven response that happened in the various sections. Some cops let people in, right? Some people, some of the security forces there just took away the barricades, let them on in. Some barricaded doors, took out guns, and shot into the crowd. They killed that woman, the Air Force
she
veteran.
Jumped right through the window.
Yeah, and look, she plays stupid games, wins stupid prizes. You know what I mean? Saying I'm not trying to say that they did anything wrong there. I'm just saying that we can see the uneven kind of chaotic response to this, and I think it belies any attempt to paint this as some kind of concerted, conspiratorial kind of effort on either side, whether to stop Trump or for Trump to kind of
Yeah.
gain power. So I don't think, right? Like, so we do have actually evidence of what would happen had it been a bunch of black people. For example, we can look at the Black Lives Matter movement riots earlier that year, or the year before, I should say. They had National Guard ready, and they just stopped them at the various monuments.
You saw how many they had that day?
They had a lot.
They had a lot.
Yeah, and that was to deter it. Like, again, if it had been a bunch of Arabs, as you say, they would have, the National Guard would have been there, and they wouldn't have gotten in at all. There wouldn't have been bloodshed, but they wouldn't have gotten in at all.
Yeah, over. We're not stupid. We're not going there. I don't even take pictures no more of buildings. Listen, when you have the president of the United States for 187 minutes drinking Diet Cokes and watching things unfold, and he is the number one law enforcement guy he's the man. He could have sent the military, he could have sent the National Guard, he could have done something. He just watched in enjoyment. They said he was laughing and everybody was begging him for almost 187 minutes as all that chaos went through. There was a lot of planning. I know you don't agree with me, Wick, but I come from a country where there's a lot of conspiracies and a lot of stuff like that.
Wait, what do you mean by planning?
Huh? Well, the plan was to create the right said it was a false flag. No, it was a dry run, because it can't be a false flag. By Biden just won the presidency. They won both houses. Why would you do a false flag if you have all the governments in your hand? This is how dumb they are. The right. Oh, I'm gonna overturn the country and I'm in power. It was dry run. It was done. There was a lot of moving parts. People were gonna bring these fake electors. Oh, not. It was a lot. There was a concerted effort to overthrow the government. I know this sounds a little crazy. I think Donald Trump got a phone call from the military. They told him, listen, you're orange orangutan. You have 10 days. Relax, drink Diet Cokes. Don't do anything stupid. If not, you're going to end up in Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. Okay?
You have wait.
Because hold on. Because after that he was dislodged from the presidency. He wasn't talking to nobody. He was not even a president for those last 10. I think he got that phone call. He had to get it, because that guy, the Joint Chief guy, what's his name, Milley? He said I was going to put a ring of steel around the Capitol if I knew it was going to be real dangerous. We're not going to let the Nazis that we fought 50 years ago take over the country again. The military. He got that phone call. He got it.
Wait, Omar. Wait, Omar. So,
yeah? I didn't have lunch.
Hold on. Go ahead. Are you claiming Donald Trump received a phone call from the military to chill, lay back? Do you have evidence? Anything?
No. But I know he was disenchanted from the president. After that day, he didn't talk to nobody. He was in a president normal for the last 10 days, from the 6th to the 20th.
So there's no evidence.
No, of course there's no evidence. It's all just talk.
You see, the lack of evidence is evidence itself. Why would they leave evidence, right? Obviously, they wouldn't leave evidence. If there was evidence, there would be...
Trust me, he got that phone call. I bet you got that phone call. He has to get that phone call. This is the United States of America. You know how much nuclear weapons we have? Imagine if the United States falls, the whole world falls. Every world's economy is pegged to the United States. There will be chaos.
How did we go from the conspiracy theory military thing to United States falling? What does that have to do with that?
He has succeeded in creating chaos in the country. If the electrical college were not certified and Joe Biden was not certified as president of the United States, elected by the people, there would be chaos. We will came out in the street like the liberals and
it would have been a crisis. I agree with that. It would have been a crisis.
The right will came out. Cities were burned down. Do you think we're gonna let him steal the presidency? Huh?
Wait, Omar, you are unhinged right now, okay? I want you to take a step back and listen to what you are talking about right now.
If he had succeeded in his plans, there will be chaos throughout every city in the United States.
No one is arguing that, okay? No one is arguing that if Donald Trump actually had a fascist uprising, uprooted the government, and then actually through like a successful rebellion and all of that happened. Like no one is disagreeing with that, but like you have to have some kind of, like, I feel like a lot of military people don't even like Donald Trump. You know what I mean?
They told him. They told. Merely said it. You know, the chief, the judge of. How you say the chief?
General Chief of
What are you
Staff.
saying? You sound like
Yeah,
XQC
he
right
said. He
now.
said. He said, "I will put a ring of steel around the Capitol. We're not gonna let. See, he said that. He said we're not gonna let the Nazis who fought 50 or 60 years ago, 70 years ago, come back again to power."
Okay, thank you for the
He
gift
said
sub,
it.
Wolf Glenn. I appreciate that.
He
More
said
gift
it.
subs would be good.
Fish.
This is the
That's the highest. That's the highest military officer in the United States.
Okay. Again. I think that we're post hawking this, and allow me to explain. Give me a moment, please.
All right.
What is happening?
Yeah. First of all, this is the last day to kind of give me money. So if you for the month. So if you have $20 or $5 that you want to throw at me, gift subs, bits, super chats, all these would be good. If you have comments that you would like to make, super chat them, and I will read them out and ask the questions of my guests here. But Omar, the idea that the military called or contacted President Trump and told him to stand down is just counter to how the military works. I am a veteran. I did serve in the military. I was not on the Joint Chief of Staffs, right? I was not an officer. I was I worked for a living, right? I was a enlisted brother. But the president is the commander-in-chief. The military takes orders from the president. It does not give orders to the president. And if it had gone, I agree with you. I agree with you. If Trump had been successful and gotten the electors, if they had decertified the electors, or if something had been delayed or gone wrong, then yes, it would have been a constitutional crisis. There would have been a lot of unrest, and it would have ended in bloodshed. I agree with you, but
door to door,
but that is a far cry. That is a far cry from saying the military called President Trump and told him to stand down. I don't think that is
when I agree,
indicated by the facts at hand. And thank you for the sub, Soyatl. Really appreciate it.
Give the guy all your money. If you don't, I'm gonna match it at the end. Okay.
I'll match it at the end. We have $7 on YouTube so far, and $10 on match Twitch.
It, but I don't want to give it to you on YouTube because they take half. You should put a PayPal.
I'll give you my Omar. I'll send you my PayPal link directly.
I just said it. I will match every dollar you guys give.
Give more dollars.
Okay. What I was gonna say is that Wick, the whole idea. Remember when they declared that Biden won the presidency? It was on a Saturday. Everybody ran into the street and started celebrating. It was just a knee-jerk reaction. Everybody just came out, not planning. Everybody was happy in the streets. Imagine if, God forbid, they had succeeded. The United States would have been in turmoil. You have people in blue states come out burning everything down. You have people in red states, all those guns they have going crazy. Yahoos going nuts. The United States is a fragile country, really. Our democracy is sloppy, it's fragile. At the same time, it's good and it's institutional. When the institutions,
Omar. Bomar. Listen, no one's denying that, right? Like this entire thing.
I disagree that it's a fragile country, but carry on.
No, the institutions are.
I don't think they're fragile.
Weak that day. They were shaken that day.
Like my brother in Christ, right? Like no one is disagreeing with the fact, like with anything that you're saying, like, oh my God, like if all these things happen, then everything is gonna burn down. But everything going back to like that phone call, bro, like you have no evidence of that. You don't know what you're you don't know what you're saying, you know, like you know, like it. You know, that's such a careless statement to make. You know what I mean? Like that's so crazy.
I'm going to tell you. Steve Bannon was saying we need to dismantle the administrative state. From day one, when Donald Trump came to power, he depleted the State Department, never replaced anybody who retired or quit, depleted the Pentagon, no ambassadors. He never appointed any ambassadors to maybe half the countries. There was a movement to deplete or to hollow all the institutions, and it did. Like a month before the end of the election, he fired everybody. He got a new defense secretary. He got all these national security advisors. Everybody was new for those last 3-4 weeks. And the only person, and Barr resigned. Everybody was new because they knew he knew they were not going to agree to do what he wanted to do. And I could tell you what's happening right now. You see, what's going on right now in the Senate? They have this guy named Tuberville. You know who Tuberville is, right, Wick?
I'm familiar.
He's a senator for Alabama. He didn't even know that we had 3 branches of government when he first came to Washington. Now he's holding out the promotions and the hire of military chains of command. We have more than 300 military personnel who have not been promoted or who have resigned and their places are empty because he wants to stop abortion in the military. What he's doing right now.
We start what in the what? I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that. Start what in the military?
It's stop abortion.
Abortion in the wait, what does that mean?
Well, you got to speak to him because military personnel get abortion. They have women.
Yeah, you can. They'll pay for all
women.
That. Okay.
He don't want the military to pay for them. By doing that, in the Senate rules, one senator could block any promotion of the military. Now it's almost 300. Now the all branches of the military, they'll have no leadership. Even the chief joiner, Milley, has resigned. We're not going to have that. So what's going on right now? They are destroying the chain of command of the United States military. The Republican Party is dangerous. It is no longer a parliamentary party. As a matter of fact, Noam Chomsky, his name is, said it about probably 10 years. Yeah, he said that 10 years ago. He said the most dangerous organization is the Republican Party right now, and they are because they are no longer.
2 things. Well, finish your statement, then I have 2 things.
Well, they are no longer playing by the rules. They are just saying shit, throwing shit at the wall, whatever sticks. They are creating all these conspiracies. There is nobody to work with in Washington. Well, you got Marjorie Taylor Moore and Lauren Roberts, all these nut jobs running around. And then now they want to impeach Biden. I don't know what. You understand? Go ahead.
2 things. So first of all, $12 from Chan Thurek to say match me for the money I give Wick. Then we have Johnny Bananas. We have Soyaddle. We have Ico Rich. Thank you for the Twitch subs. We are on a hype train right now, so if you want to give more Twitch subs, bits, all that really helps. Again, last day of the month for this. All this is really good. Let me address your points here though, because I disagree with a lot of people on this, and a lot of people dislike me for saying this. But one, I think that the institutions in America are strong, and I think that the 2016 and the 220 kerfuffle demonstrates the strength of our institution. Trump, with all his power, with all his might, with all his following, wasn't able to do a goddamn thing to stop Joe Biden from getting elected. He tried with all his might, but our institutions not only held strong, but they were very, very, even the Republicans, right? Even the Republicans, most of them held strong too, and reinforced our institutions. Now, to your comment, let me finish. Well, look at the Alabama. Look at the Alabama person who was in charge of elections. They were a Republican. They were appointed by a Republican. They had every incentive in the world to just follow along with Trump, but they said no because they believed in the government. And now I'm with you, and Republicans are generally dog shit for this country. I agree with that. I think that they're a bad platform, and they. But I don't want the idea that they are this evil organization. I think. If we want a situation where we can actually work with people, we have to stop calling each other evil. We have to do that because how are they going to work with us if we continually paint them as monstrous individuals?
I want to add on to Wick's point. Wait, Omar, you have been
just one word.
Doing weird ass shit for
Fix just one word. I'm gonna shut up. I want to just give it.
No problem, Cromar. Yeah, okay, Cromar. Go ahead.
Okay, it's Omar. Okay, after
Foodshops.
Okay, Wick. After all that chaos for hours, with 7 members of the Senate and the House voted against the election. That's more than 50% of the Republican Party. That is some dangerous shit right there. You understand? After you run around like dogs, scared with your tail behind you, you're going to go in there and vote again to approve Donald Trump. Go ahead now.
Okay, thank you, Tromar. Yeah. So like as Wick say, like we have to stop calling each other evil. We have to, sit down and actually have a conversation about these things. At the end of the day, I think most Republicans are actually genuinely good people. Yeah, I think most Republicans are. And I myself, I'm a political activist. So what I do is I actually go out and volunteer and I knock on doors. So I convince people to actually go and vote. I have canvassed more than 10 times at this point.
For what party?
And for the Republicans, of course. I'm kidding. No, for the Democrats, of course. Yeah. So, what you really think a transgender person would actually go out and canvass for Republicans?
You transgender?
Yeah, I am.
I didn't know that. Okay. Good.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
No,
People
it's
who
not.
pass can't tell. Yeah.
I can't tell. I mean, I thought you.
Yeah. So yeah.
What's your pronouns?
He, him, gay man. I'm kidding. No, she, her. Yeah, of course.
She, her. Yeah. I used to have a co-host named Mara. Go ahead. Good.
No. So basically, on the show note, right? Like when I talk to these people, I remember there was a person saying, "Oh, you're spreading around that Democratic baloney again, right?" And I've had like a debate with him at his door for 30 minutes, and it's not because I want the debate. It's not because I want to like destiny him up or anything like that, right? It's because he actually wanted that conversation. He seemed lonely, he seemed sad, he seemed like he wanted somebody to talk to. He's an old man in his 80s, okay? He looked like he was about to die tomorrow, all right? So listen, all right? I want you to whatever, right? So his mind was filled with conspiracy, just like Omar over here, So it's like, oh, hold on. So I was like just talking to him, right? So at the end of the day, I think it's just good to sit down, have a conversation with these guys, let them spew their conspiracies, and even if you can't refute everything, let them know at the end of the day that you're a human being, you're a human being and they're a human being, and at the end of the day, you can sit down, have a drink together, crack open a cold one with the boys, and I think at the end of the day, that's what unites us all as human beings, That's a good thing.
You guys misunderstood me. I'm not saying the average Joe, the average Republican is a monster. I'm talking about like the Ted Cruz who graduated out of Harvard or
No,
Yale.
I'm just carrying on to Wick's point. I'm just.
Yeah. Hold on. Josh Hawley out of Yale. All these educated Republicans will get up there and lie and vote against the election of the United States of America. These are some dangerous motherfuckers because they know better. Margie Taylor Moore is an idiot. She probably was a neighborhood hoe. She got elected by I don't care. Laura Roberts, another neighbor. The what do you call them? The trailer park hoe. I don't care. She got elected. But when you deal with people, hold on. But when you deal with people who came out of Harvard, came out of Yale, came out of Princeton, one of the best, the pinnacle of all education, and vote against the election. After all that went on, after they took over the Capitol, people got killed. They broke all the windows. You got to go 147 members of the terrorist organization called the Republican Party voted against the free and fair election of 243 years that we have been used to as a nation that hold us apart from the world of craziness.
Look, I'm not telling you that you should be happy with them voting that way. In fact, you should hold them accountable. But the way to hold them accountable is in the ballot box. Hold this against them. But the problem here, right, and the reason that this is an actual problem is because their constituents elect them, and they will elect them again, and they will continue to elect them, right?
I want to tell you why.
That is the source of the power that these individuals hold. So how do we take away their power? Because I want to take away their power. I want to take away their power as well. But we have to look into how we do that. If we do that through fiat, through legislation and things, it's not going to be effective because their power isn't in the legislation. It isn't in the fiat. That's not how you do it. You take away their pillar of support, which is their constituency. How do you do that? Well, very simply, by convincing their pillar of power to not support them anymore. And how do you do that? And it's not by saying, hey, the person you vote for is a monster. It's not. But yeah, I think that we want the same thing here. I want Republicans out of power, 100%. Yeah. But we cannot do that by continually castigating them as evil. They're not. Even most of their politicians, most Republican politicians are not evil. They're not. They just have different values than we do.
Hold on. Can I talk? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
So-
go ahead. Sorry, you're a
Yes.
guest.
No, you're good. No, Wick, I'm so sorry. No, go ahead. Wick, did you finish your point?
Close
What
enough.
for you? Go ahead.
Yeah, you're a guest. Go ahead.
No, I didn't want to interrupt. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So I just want to like add on to Wick's point here, because I totally agree with him, and because Omar here is like a really good example, right? Because I think when you look at Omar, right, because it's not that he's painting Republicans as like evil or like evil this or evil that. Like he's not explicitly calling them evil, but then when you see the way that he describes Republicans, like
Politicians.
like when you say trailer trash hoes, when you say like, oh, these
They are.
people who have like
Yeah.
been whatever, like even though you're not explicitly calling them evil, you're implying as if they are subhuman in some sense of the word, right? And when I go out and meet them, I'm never gonna go out and say, "Oh, you're a trailer trash hoe." You know, you're a trailer trash hoe, right? Because at the end of the day, I think at the end we should always make friends, even with the people subliminally that we view as lesser people. You know what I mean? So, I think at the end of the day, I want to sit down and even with the Harvard graduates that you view as like the scheming, conniving people,
Yeah.
it is more productive to be friends with them and to also manipulate them back rather than saying, okay, we're going to burn bridges and we're always going to be enemies. You know what I mean? Because it's better to try to strike up deals with them, just like Democratic politicians. Why is
Yeah.
it that Democratic politicians never ever burn bridges with these people? Why do you see them shake hands on the floor of Congress? Why do you see AOC, you know, bump shoulders with and bump like you know, elbows with Mitch McConnell, which is considered one of the most evil Republicans of all time, you know? Like the turtle of Washington.
He's an American, though.
The shell of the devil, you know? So it's like, how could you say that? It doesn't make any sense, right?
I'm gonna tell you, Mitch McConnell is not evil. Mitch McConnell is a parliamentary individual. He believes in the law and the legislative of the United States. What I'm afraid of is those people who do not believe in playing fair. Why did I call Margie Taylor Moore, what's her name, Green, a hoe? Because in a committee meeting last week about whistleblowers, she put a big picture of Hunter Biden's dick and he's having sex with a woman in Congress. How garbage? This is garbage. These are I blame the people who brought it into to Washington. These are not that's subhuman. Why would you do that? That nobody. I mean, she has no respect for the institution that she's in, or that she's a congresswoman, that she of the United States of America. That's first of all. So what we were talking about? Oh, wow, man, you lost my mind. I should write things down.
It's fine.
What did you say?
Take your
No,
time.
what did Wick say
No,
before?
we're talking about how we treat
convince-
others, how
okay.
we
We
communicate
have a
about
problem.
other people, right?
I'll tell you what it is. We don't have. See, we don't. Suburban white women are not going to vote for Donald Trump. They know better. Educated whites, they're not going to vote. These are educated people. Our problem is with the poor white folks of the Midwest and the South. They will go every time. I'm sorry to say this, not being racist or anything. They will go and vote their color every single time. They will give them something to go. Willie Horton, remember Willie Horton with the caucus?
1988, I remember.
Yeah, and they turn everything around. Oh, he let a black man out and he raped a white, beautiful, snow white woman. And he was leading by 20 points. CRT, that's why they give them these games. The trans, right now, they have the trans gender movement. They have all the stuff. They always give them culture war, but they never feed them. If you look at these places in the United States, they're last in education, last in healthcare, last in infrastructure, last income. We the Democrat, we want to give you free healthcare. No, we don't want it. We want to give you free education. They don't want to. We want to give you the 300 child credit. $300 for each child. You know how much $300 for a person in Appalachia, in West Virginia? That's a lot of money they can feed their kids. And the Republicans and Joe Manchin voted against it, and they cut it off. So we cannot convince white people to vote for their own political interests or for their own economic interests because they see the D as evil. The big D,
yes,
they call it.
Yes, they do. Let's talk about this because this is a big problem. There's been a lot of ink spilled about this. Thomas Frank wrote a book called "What's the Matter with Kansas?" Where he explores this topic of why white rural America specifically continually votes against their interest, quote unquote. There's a reason. There's a reason. It's not because they're racist. It's not. It's not because they're xenophobic. It's not.
They scare them.
That is part of it, yes, but a large part of it, right? Because if you talk, and I have a lot of family who are very Republican, who are Trump supporters, who are DeSantis supporters, who have voted Republican all their lives and things like that. And I've had discussions with them and why they don't support Democrats and things like that. And it varies, from region to region, person to person, but there is a commonality. There is a through line in all the conversations is that the Democrats treat them like shit and are untrustworthy. Like the Democrats have lied and they treat them like shit in their view.
Yes.
So look at Hillary's comment in 2016, the basket of deplorables, right? Yeah. That tanked her among a lot. Now, again, she wasn't up very high. She wasn't up very high, and she was a bad candidate for a lot of reasons. She's a bad candidate for a lot of reasons. But I think that these kind like this tendency to think, oh, we can just match energies, right? Like they are mean to us, so we can be mean to them. In that case, a lot of these voters see no difference between a Democrat and a Republican, and even when you point out the policies that would help them, they're like, we don't believe you or trust you. We don't actually think you're going to actually do this.
So you say like that?
No, that's what they would say to us. That's what they would say to us.
You see what's going on? The opiate crisis. The kids are dying like flies. Nobody's helping their kids.
Yeah, that's the thing. No one is helping them.
But the people they vote for are all Republicans. They're not helping them.
Even in the Democratic-owned, in the Democratic states, Pennsylvania, for example, Pennsylvania has a lot of opiate crisis. Do you think that the Democrats are doing anything to help them?
Hold on. In Georgia, the Republican governor refused to expand Medicaid. Money that's given free by the federal government that hospital could use. There is about 4 or 5 big hospitals have closed because they need that money so a patient could pay. And they are closing in rural areas. If you had a heart attack, it will take you sometimes 2 hours to get to the nearest hospital because these hospitals are closed. Because the governor refuses to take free money from the federal government. All he has to do is just, boom, sign it, and they will expand Medicaid to people who need it. Instead of people going to the emergency room and getting a bill for $3,000, instead of hospital closing down because they depend on Medicaid money. It's a problem with these people. And they'll go and vote every time. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say it like it is. They go vote their color because they scare them. Oh, they're coming for you. The demographic changes. They're going to take over the country. Hold on. Oh, you're going to lose your privileges. What privilege do you have? You don't have anything to take. You're poor as fuck. You're poorer than me. I'm poor as you. We have the same interests as a guy in New York City. Sorry, I must have you. A guy in New York City, in Harlem, or in Brooklyn, or in downtown Brooklyn, or in Flatbush. I'm giving you names you guys don't know. These are poor areas in New York City. Have the same interests that you do. But how can I convince you when you go when they used to go to rallies and they want to replace Obamacare, and most of them are on it. The people in the crowd, they're all on the Affordable Act. They don't even know that.
$20 from Lawson Harrison to say, do we think that if all voters have the same information on politicians and policies that they will arrive at the same moral or political conclusions?
Oh.
Yes.
They will.
Go
on. But that's beside the point, right? Because I totally understand that there are different circumstances and different situations where we can find Republicans and politicians where like they have caused or indirectly have caused deaths where they didn't need to cause deaths. I have no doubt that these
your community is being vilified by the Republican Party right now. They are making you as monsters, that you are evil, and a lot of people in the transgender community are getting killed and murdered.
I have no doubt. Okay?
This is evil. That's evil. Isn't that evil?
I have no doubt. Okay, I have no doubt. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you right now. All right, I'm telling you right now. When I'm out there and I'm actually volunteering, okay, when I'm out there with my fellow, political volunteers, when I'm out there working with the Democratic Party, okay, when we have actually proven methods of getting voters, when we're doing political campaigns, when we're drawing up these strategies and mathematically like going through these in detail, all right? Okay, not mathematically. Okay, that's a bit too far. But like when we're going through these kinds of things, right? Here in the listen, right? We will never ever demonize the other side. We will never ever demonize the poor. We will never demonize the white. We will never demonize the people who are the Republicans, the people who are the other side. Why do we never do that? Why do you think we never do that? It's because we are trying to spread a campaign of love and peace. We are trying to spread a campaign where we're saying, we will fight for you even if you did not vote for us, right? Because when Joe Biden got elected, he's saying, I am not just the president for the Democrats. I am a president for the American people. I'm a president for all people, right? And that message is very uplifting. When I heard it, when I hear that kind of message, it makes me happy. It makes everybody happy. All right? That is not, at the end of the day, the politicians represent the people. If a politician makes a decision that is evil, that you think is evil, that contributes to people's deaths, that decision making represents the people who have voted for that politician, and that represents ultimately a failure to convince the people to vote for your side. That means we have to change our strategies. That means we come back next year. We come back the year after that. If we keep failing, we come back the year after that. We keep doing it until we're dead, okay? Even on our deathbed, we're going to continue drawing up campaign strategies, okay? Even if it's the last person alive, we're going to continue drawing up campaign strategies, okay? I don't care if it takes I am the last person. I'm gonna continue door knocking, even if my knuckles are bleeding. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
But
but
what you are doing when you are drawing up conspiracy theories and you're saying, okay, this person is a trailer trash hoe, it hurts. Okay, I hate it, but it hurts. Every single time you say this person is a trailer trash hoe, it's as if you're killing another transgender person, because that, to me at least, is almost as if it's ineffective. It hurts the rhetoric. It poisons the well. And at the end of the day, it hurts the entire political movement. It just does not help whatsoever.
talking about
And
their behavior.
you are almost just as bad as any other Republican out there as well. Okay, a toxic Democrat.
No, I'm not toxic. I support the right for every person to live free and safe in this country. I see these people
If you
as dangerous.
support that, you need to change your rhetoric.
Hold on, I agree with you on certain things that I did say bad things about these two idiots in Congress. They are idiots. Okay, idiot is good. Can we agree on idiots? Call them idiots.
I think
for
there's
sure.
look.
Idiots.
I think
that's fine. That's a light enough term.
there's a scale here. There's a spectrum here, right? Where it's okay to vent. It's okay to vent, being like, man, I wish all those damn Republicans. I wish I wouldn't do these things. But I think that what I think the bigger problem is, and I'm going to disagree a little bit with food stamps here.
Go ahead.
Is it isn't just the rhetoric. The rhetoric is a symptom of certain individuals' absolute belief that the other side are just not human and not moral actors, right? This idea, and I see it all the time, especially online, mostly online, but even in my personal life, with my family, with my friends, with the people around me who are, again, I live in a very red area. They believe in their heart of hearts that Democrats are bad people. And in the reverse,
you call us pedophiles.
Yes, and in the reverse, right? We believe, right? A lot of Democrats believe that Republicans are just bad people, that if given a chance to save a child, they would rather let them starve than vote Democrat. That's not true. Both of these are caricatures of the other side. Both of these we have stopped seeing each other as people and started seeing each other as enemies. So how do we change? Because that is going to kill us. It may not be this election, it may not be next election, but if there's any fragility in America, that is the fragility we're seeing right now. But it isn't unique to America. We can see this in other conflicts throughout the world. This dehumanizing of each other. So people always kind of take me to task of, oh, you're just asking people, like, civility politics is bullshit, etc., etc. No, I think this is the best way forward, because we have to hit it at the root. The root isn't the rhetoric. The root, the cause, is dehumanization of each other. We need to stop it. Rhetoric is a vector, but it's not the only vector. So I don't know how to stop it, but we need to. Blah, blah, blah.
You hear me?
Monologue. Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
I don't know what happened. Hello, hello, hello. You know what happened?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
My chat is closed, but they can't hear me. My thing. Let me just add it. It's a little too late, but I'm gonna take the video later and download it from you.
Yeah, do that. That's all good.
Yeah, I'm saying, why is nobody responding to me? Hold on.
Okay, while you do that,
go ahead.
while you do that, what do you think? How do you have an answer to this? Since you're our guest here, how do we stop this dehumanization? Like, how do we solve it?
Again, like I said, sometimes it just takes a face-to-face interaction, right? Because if they see you at the door, they realize that you're not just the face on the screen. Because when they see the worst aspects of the transgender community, it's these, men in dresses who do not pass. It's these men with lipstick who are dressed in over extravagant clothes, who are dressed in whatever, right? So when I go to their door and whatever, they don't realize, like, oh my God, you're actually a normal person, or like, oh my God, you may be a liberal, but you talk just like any other person, right? They realize that, hey, we can all be down to earth at the very end of the day. We can unite on the very common things, like we just want to grill, we just want to make some barbecue, we just want to like make some hot dogs, right? I think we just need to have a conversation. We just need to have a conversation. We just need to say hi.
You said something there.
That's wishful thinking.
You think that's wishful thinking? Why?
Because everybody is. We live right now in an age of tribalism, political tribalism. We are along a line, the 1830s in the United States, or 1840s, when there was slave states, free states. Instead of now, we are on the line of blue states, red states. Everybody is in a foxhole. Everybody's hardened politically. It's hard to win the other side over. We are split down the middle. Look how the Senate is. How a Senate is. Or the House is only was four votes, and they were from New York. The whole idea is that it's the fault. You see, when I'm saying that the Republicans are evil, I'm not saying I'm not saying that the people are evil. The people are victims or of the lies and propaganda that they've been sold. Imagine most of the major issues Americans agree on: gun control, LGBTQ community, 60%, 80%, 70%, everything. But the elected officials of the Republican Party refused to change these things that we all agree as Americans, from South Carolina all the way to New York City. We both agree on gun control or but the politicians are not doing the people's job. They're just selling them fear. Oh, Barbie. But now this week was Barbie doll. Ted Cruz went on TV on Fox News. See, that's why we should have reactionary videos. I have it. And said that that the Barbie movie was pro-China because they had 8 stars or 8 things around the sea, the Chinese Sea. On TV, a politician who came out of what was it? What college? One of those, not Princeton, Harvard University. He's one of the greatest minds, they say. He has a great mind as a lawyer, whatever it is. And how do you deal with that? I mean, is this person real? Should this person be reelected? I mean, is it okay for him to get on TV and talk about some crazy shit about about girls' movies? Now, mostly 8-year-olds or 10-year-olds, the Wick went. I don't know why he went. They scared all the kids when he went there. You understand? It was a movie for kids.
Movie.
It was for kids. And the right-wing media, it was against the patriarchy. Oh, it was against. Oh, they were against men. I'm telling you, these people are no longer, you see, they are no longer playing by the same rules we're playing with as Democrats or as liberals or as leftists. They don't believe in these institutions no more. They will do anything to win. The laptop from hell. What's his name? What's Hunter Biden's laptop? They have it for 5 years. All we saw is his dick. And I'm trying to get the video because they so hang up on it. I want to see how big it is because I haven't got the real access to it because they so the conservative movement is so hanged up on it. I don't understand. For 5 years, this dangerous laptop, all we have seen was just a picture of this man who was on crack, who was a victim, drug addict. Everybody knows people who have in their family who have been drug addicts. I have a family part, I know. And we're not playing the fish. We're not playing by the same rules anymore. You understand what we're dealing with here?
Omar.
Yeah.
I have a question.
God. Am I crazy?
What do you think about incels?
I was just talking about last week. I support incels. I think incels are a victim of the feminist movement. And hold on.
I want one sentence of your thoughts only.
Yeah.
What do you think about incels?
I think they need help.
Okay. I talked to an incel last night, okay? And the way I sort of see it is that the same kind of mentality of an incel has infected your sane mind, all right?
No.
The thing is, people of this country need an injection of hopium, all right? They need an injection of hopium, and I believe that the indomitability of the human spirit will shine forth and unite us all in the moment of darkness. A shining the light, a lighting of the match, all right? A lighting of the candle in the darkness. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, all right? Yes, the tunnel is dark. The tunnel is long, all right? We cannot see anything in that tunnel, all right? We are touching and feeling. The walls are slimy. It is gross. We are feeling slugs through our fingers, all right? We know, we all know, okay? But at the end of the day, I believe that we will prevail as human civilization. Think about it. Back in the day, lifespans were shorter. Lifespans were shorter. We have made it through. Alexander the Great conquering the world, the Mongol horde raping entire towns, stacking skulls upon of skulls, torturing entire villages, okay? We have made it through the most terrible of times. Hitler's regime. We have made it through that time. If we can make it through all of these times, if we can make it through the Cuban Missile Crisis, how could we not make through this time? How could we not have a conversation? How could we not talk to a Republican? I want you to think about it. If we can make it through all of these times where we have gone to war with people, all right? Peasants have risen up against tyrants, tyrannical kings. How could we not sit down with a Republican and tell them we are on the same side? We just need to grill. We just need to grill, and we just need to unite on the common issues. We need to shake hands. We need to unite, you know? We are no longer drawing out swords and stabbing them through the heart. We just need to touch them in their heart.
Okay, you just jumped from incels to world history.
Because you have the incel mentality, the hopeless black pill mentality. When it comes to politics, the hopelessness that you are wallowing in is hopeless. The entire world will burn down. Everything is hopeless.
I'm saying $5 from Lawson Harrison says the bright glorious light at the end of the tunnel is centrism. I don't even know what centrism is anymore because people keep calling me a centrist. I'm not a centrist.
I'm a bit of
no. The light at the end of the tunnel is a conversation. Is to fire up the grill. That is.
Omar, take it away. Tell us why you're not an incel, Omar. Subscribe.
Thank you.
I'm married. The whole issue is I spoke to an incel. Remember when I spoke to you last week about it? I spoke to an incel one time. I say, what do you think if we have a voucher for you guys to go have sex in these with these places, where they have these a cat house, we call them. A house of El Repute, we used to call it. Yeah, brothels. He said the whole issue is not about sex. They want affection. They want to fall in love. They need love. So the incel movement, they're not evil or anything. The incel movement is men for the last 60 or 70 years have been emasculated. I said it by mass media, by corporate America, by women who these men young men find it hard to find women or to speak to women because they have been discouraged by our societies. The incels are young men who spend a lot of time on video games, have lost interest in the ability to attract women. You understand what I'm saying? That the whole idea is that they're afraid to move because women have become very masculine. Women have become the masculine species, and they have become the emasculated species. We need to help our young men to become reassured of themselves, to bring their the patriarchy. What is it called? The word patriarchy to the what is it?
Patriarchy.
Patriarchy. And we need to tell them that they have value, and they could bring a lot of value to other women and mate and become a normal part of society. That's all it is. I'm not an
Omar.
incel. I'm a sexual maniac. Got 6 kids.
Omar.
What?
Omar, just like how I said that you have the mentality of an incel,
Yeah.
that isn't exactly a bad thing.
Yeah.
It just means that you also need a lot of love and affection in your
I
life.
have love. I have love.
I know. But you need love and affection in the metaphorical way, in the political way, okay? You need hopium. You need an injection of heroin. Sorry, not heroin, okay?
No,
you need some of that energy back, okay?
Yeah.
I think you're not a bad person. I know you're a good person deep down. I know that in your life that you're good to your friends, that you're good to your family, and you said you have children, right? You have children?
I got 6.
That you're good to your children.
Of
Yeah,
course.
that's a successful man. That's a family man right there, you know?
I'm a traditional,
I've talked to family
by
men
the way,
before.
I'm a traditional
trad
man who believes in
And
alpha male.
are you still married?
For me?
Yeah.
I told you I'm an alpha male. I'm a protector. I don't get divorced. What?
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, trad relationship, trad wife, okay? Trad family, right? So I'm just saying, bro, you're perfectly fine. You have the stable thing. So why, if you could establish all of these things for yourself, maybe the next step is to help out at your community, is to volunteer at your political organizations, is to reach out and spread some love. Because spreading some love, spread some love inside of your heart. You know what I mean, bro?
I don't have any issue. You misunderstand. You're making me sound like I'm an evil Knievel guy or evil individual.
But you're not evil. I'm saying you're good deep down.
No.
What
do you mean deep down? I am. Even right now, I'm nice.
You're a good person. I believe it, you know? Because I know I have been, you may say, oh my God, Fish, you've been incredibly condescending this entire time.
No,
you've been weird this entire time, I know. All right? But I'm going to tell you right now.
What are we talking about anymore?
I have talked to people like you, okay?
I think you got high on that pizza.
Listen. All right? I'm saying, all right? You need some estrogen in your... I'm kidding, no.
Are you trying to trans him?
You're the one who lost yours. Let me defend myself.
Yeah, defend. Go ahead.
My issue is not with the average Joe. I'm telling you, I'm trying to help these people. My problem is with the political elites who lie to them. I'm talking about Ted Cruz. I didn't say some guy named
yes, okay, and I can counter that, right? The problem is that whenever you complain about the political elites, the elites only represent the people that elected them in the first place. It represents a failure. It represents a failure on us to convince the Republicans who actually vote for them. It means that we need to change up our campaign strategy, right? There is not some kind of gigantic like conspiracy theory, right? Yeah. We can map out the charts. We can ask Nate Silver. We can ask like all of these like specialists. Like all of these things happen for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. You are here today because of a reason. I am here today because of a reason. You know what I mean? You hear me, right? Mandela effect. You know what
because,
I mean? So it's like
wait, the Mandela effect. Hold on. Do you know what the Mandela effect is?
No idea. I'm just spitting it out for no reason. Okay.
So what it is, just to let people know, right? The Mandela effect is interesting. It's an interesting phenomenon. It's kind of like this
alternate
idea,
timelines, right?
That there's a mass kind of psychosis or hypnosis things people remember. Many people remember, like the Fruit of the Loom symbol having a little cornucopia there. That is actually not true. And when people look back at it, they're like, oh, this is not true. But there's so many people across the globe who are convinced it was. And that's called the Mandela effect because many people thought he died in prison, right? They thought they remembered a report. Oh, we're getting an echo.
Whoa.
I got it was my fault. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. But like, so I'm going to be real with both of you. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. I thought we were talking about one thing, but it has gone down a weird spot.
Yeah, I know. Together, I did. I do that every week.
Wait. What is that supposed to mean? Wait. It's very simple. Okay. Omar over here is very black-pilled about the political landscape right now in the US of A. And I am trying to hope pill him. That is all. I'm trying to tell him that actually going out and talking to Republicans is actually helping. But he is black-pilled that, the Republican elites are manipulating the voter base or something like there's like some kind of grand conspiracy going on. And the entire country is like crashing and burning down around us. But I'm just saying, I think the future is very optimistic. It's very optimistic. But he just won't believe me. That's it.
I think all right. I believe you. I just to calm you down. You understand? But I think you're just doing. It's like a movie. You're living in a different time. What I'm saying is that I'm not talking about get the gun and start shooting people in the streets. What I'm saying is that even if we try to convince the poor whites, the poor whites are very strange people. They don't want to vote. They've been doing this since 1681. Because the educated whites don't vote for Donald Trump, and everybody's hoping that Donald Trump wins the primary because he's not going to get their vote, and he's going to eventually lose. Suburban white women with children don't vote like these people who vote for these crazy people. This is the whole problem.
Well, then, and Omar, then how do you explain that? Here, let me try this angle. Trump got more minority votes than any other Republican candidate in years and decades in modern history. In fact, he got more minority votes in 2020 than he did in 2016. So, if it is simply this white American problem, why are so many people going for this quote unquote white supremacist Trump?
You see, Trump is not a white supremacist. He's an opportunist. If he was a white supremacist, he'll be dangerous. He's an opportunist. What he did is Donald Trump has a charisma. He has a charisma that the other politicians don't have. He tells great jokes. I was watching his speech last night. I think he was. I don't know what state he was. It was yesterday. And after he told all his lies about Biden, he started telling jokes about DeSantis. I loved it. It was very entertaining. I was laughing with the people and all that stuff. He has this charisma to pull people in. He has a strong personality. Donald Trump was never this extreme. Donald Trump was always a Republican, pro-choice, always hanged out with rappers, black rappers, everything. They used to sing and they used to rap about him all the time. I mean, the only thing is he's an opportunist. After the presidency of what's his name, Obama, when he called him, he wasn't born there. He wrote that thing all the way to the White House of him being a legal alien who was born in Africa, a secret Muslim who prayed with a prayer rug inside the White House. People will vote. I'm not saying that.
But I just don't understand. But
they didn't vote in large number. But I told you he has charisma. He has charisma. Sometimes he was saying, "What do you have to lose?" He was saying real things because he said, "Remember when he's saying that?" He said, "Black, the blacks."
Yes.
He always say,
but here's the thing. This kind of belies your whole point, in my opinion, because I think that the reason that Republicans don't vote for Democrats is a lot of Republicans today were the Democrats of 10, 15 years ago. I'll take my family. My mother, my uncle, Clinton voters, Obama voters, Kerry voters, Al Gore voters, right? Democrat after Democrat after Democrat, their whole lives. But back in 2010 to 2016,
the black guy came.
No, they voted for Obama in 2008.
I know, right? But they had that knee-jerk reaction. They voted. They picked the whitest.
They voted. They voted for them in the primary versus Hillary. They voted for Obama as well. Or at least they told me so. But between 2010 to 2016, they underwent a change. They stopped listening and trusting Democrats. Why? Why? No, and that's a lot. This isn't just unique to them. I'm using them as examples. But there are a lot of people who, again, lifelong Democrat voters, or at least would vote sometimes Republican, sometimes Democrat. During that time period, many, many, many of them became die-hard anti-Democrat. Why? What happened? What changed?
Whick,
go ahead.
I think the answer is obvious. The answer is right in front of you on this panel.
Me?
The name rhymes with Omar.
That is good. Yeah, you
Listen,
vilify
right?
me.
The thing is, right?
I'm not the evil guy here.
The problem isn't it sort of low-key ironic that like a transgender Asian chick is like advocating for like the poor white people? I just don't I don't know. It's just sort of ironic and funny.
Which one
Think
of
at
you
the
will
same
defend
time.
me harder? That's a question. Poor white guy right here. Which one of you are going to be my best friend? I'll let you fight for it.
At the end of the day, I probably would agree with Wickmore, right? Because yeah, I mean, so far I agree with Wickmore.
So upset.
Go ahead, I want to hear your opinion on why this changed. So, food stamps here is blaming you. What about you?
Food stamps?
Yeah. Oh, Foodshops is.
Where did you get that name?
I don't know. He's changing your name every minute. I'm glad he's attacking
Where
you for
did
me.
food stamps even come from?
He's indirectly attacking you. Okay, what I'm saying is that I don't know how to. I think Donald Trump. You know that story about the St. Patrick. I think is when he took all the knives out of all the snakes out of Ireland. I think was it him? You ever heard that story?
Yes, I'm familiar. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he led the snakes out of Ireland. Yeah, that's why.
Oh shit! Hold on.
St.
Sorry.
Patrick's Day.
That's Donald Trump was the person. He came in and he dog whistled all those people who have been forgotten since the 1990s. When their factories left the NAFTA agreement destroyed their factories and their jobs. They became jobless, alcoholics, and drug addicts. They refused to move there from their towns. They refused to get a new, to go to cities and find new jobs. These people were forgotten. They didn't vote no more. They did not participate in our democracy or in our election cycles anymore. Donald Trump came. Oh, he's a Nigerian. He's an African. His name is Obama Hussein. See, when they're racist, when they put that last name in with the hard N, Hussein, that's a message that he's a Muslim. Hussein Obama, he's not here. Let him show us his birth certificate. He woke up this sleeping giant of poor whites who are out of the system, but I don't want to say it, but have some racial tendencies, or they see themselves as forgotten. Or hold on, or are the victims of immigrants, or the victims, or their jobs were taken by illegal immigrants, wherever. They don't know that their jobs went to Mexico and China with Republican signatures. So after that, he built this movement of the forgotten white man, or the forgotten white people, or how they've been displaced, the deplorable. It didn't help, and these people came and they showed up at the ballot.
Yeah, maybe. I just
Yeah,
don't.
a lot. A lot showed up.
I don't believe it. So first of all, five gift subs from Sulfur and Kick. So thank you for the Kick gift sub. Sorry I didn't see it earlier. Again, there's so many chats, and so I really appreciate it. So, and gang, and just again to shill just a little more, Omar here has agreed to match dollar for dollar what you donate today.
YouTube only.
Oh, on YouTube only? What? Okay, you changing it up now? Fair enough.
No, I don't have Twitch, so I don't believe you.
I can link you to the mouse afterwards, my brother.
Let me finish. No, we're gonna help the poor white. So we don't want you to become a Republican. We're scared because you have a lot of intelligence. You might take a lot.
Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. I get it. But let me answer your. Let me actually address your point though, please. Like this idea that people have been secretly racist this whole time and only now feel empowered to be racist because of Trump.
No, fear. He sold them fear.
It's yes, but that's not based on racism or based on xenophobia. That's based on the fact that they do not trust the system anymore. They don't trust the white people anymore that run the system. They don't trust anyone anymore. The trust in America's institutions is at an all-time low. An all-time low in science, in medical, in news, in media, in politicians. All of those, everyone's trust in it across the board, Democrats and Republicans both, are all-time low in the trust in the institutions. And this is why Trump was able to be successful. It's the same reason that Bernie got as close as he did. There's a huge overlap between Bernie supporters and Trump supporters. It's a Venn diagram that has a large overlap because both candidates are anti, or at least bill themselves as, right? Whether they are or not is a different question, but they bill themselves as anti-establishment. And I think that is where a lot of people who used to be very Democratic supporters and things like that have turned against the establishment. If Bernie had won in 2016, the primary, they would have voted for Bernie instead of Trump. But he didn't. Yeah. And so they saw Hillary as the establishment candidate and Trump as the anti-establishment candidate. In 2020, same thing. Again, you could say they're stupid for believing this, and I would agree with you. But at the same time, they saw Biden as the establishment and Trump as the anti-establishment. It's not about race. It's not about xenophobia. It's not about any of these things. It's about
I'm gonna ask you,
establishment versus anti-establishment.
What did Donald Trump deliver to them in his 4 years?
So one thing that the Republicans were very happy about is Roe v. Wade got overturned. He appointed judges into those positions. He gave them 3 Supreme Court justices.
But how did he change the lives of these poor people? They don't care about Roe v. Wade. They care about how did he change their lives?
A lot of them do.
They do. Abortion is a really important issue, and he talked about draining the swamp, right? All the
he was a swamp. He was a swamp.
Well, yeah, but
I mean, I agree with you.
Perspective, right? Yeah, their perspective.
I'm telling you that what did he deliver to these poor people in those 4 years that they're able to go and vote for him again? He didn't give them nothing. The only thing that he did was the tax cuts for the rich, $2 trillion, and that's about it. Game over. He did a redistribution of wealth from the bottom up.
I agree with you that that's what he actually did, but we're talking about...
They voted for him again, and they're going to go vote for him again. So what are they voting based on what?
Based on the fact that they think the Democrats would do it worse. Because they looked at the 2008. A lot of Democrats, when the bailout that Obama and the Democrats gave, and the Republicans, to be fair, the Bush people, everyone gave to the banks after the housing crisis.
The economy,
that crushed them. That crushed them. But the banks and the other financial institutions got bailed out while poor people didn't see a goddamn red cent. And that has created the situation where there are people who will never vote for a Democrat again. Because when the chance came for the establishment to support the people or the banks, they chose the banks. And that was a betrayal.
When Obama was president, we got the Tea Party movement was based on racism and xenophobia. It just erupted out of nowhere. The whites were demonstrating, protesting all over the place. The Obama rescue plan, the country was going to collapse. These people don't understand the idea of economics. And he only $800 billion.
You don't understand economics isn't the message here, because they're looking at their pocketbooks. They're seeing people take their jobs. Because we talk about immigration. Let's talk about immigration for a minute. I'm for immigration.
Let me get the door for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's fine. In the national side of things, in a national sense, immigration is very good. I stand immigration, but we can't ignore that when you have immigration to very specific localities, it does cause problems in those localities.
I'm going to go back.
The people who are losing their job, right?
I'm going to challenge you on that.
I understand you can challenge me all you'd like, but they're losing their job. They're seeing their safety nets be taken away. Their house that they had invested so much money in is now worth almost nothing, right? Like they're upside down on their mortgage and things like that. They're swimming in debt. They're swimming in bills. They're swimming in all these things. And to watch companies and corporations get money from the government to solve their issues when they are sitting there, bag in hand, drowning in debt. And they look at that and they're like, what are you doing for me? And they can't see anything. Now they look at Bernie. A lot of them would have voted for Bernie had Hillary not won the primary. Bernie had a plan for them. Bernie was like, hey, I have some things we can do to help relieve your burdens, to ease your pain here. And they looked at this and they're like, okay, we trust this guy. He has a record of being anti-establishment. Yeah. But the establishment won, right, in that case. And so they didn't vote for the establishment. This isn't a race thing. And it isn't about like what's strictly best or not best for the economy as a whole. People are looking at their own pocketbooks. They're looking at their own dinner table issues, and they're saying, I am not eating.
Okay, first of all, I agree with you that if Don, let me just respond to him. First of all, when the rescue plan by Obama, he rescued the auto industry. A lot of middle class people who lost their jobs. Union people who lost all their jobs. That's first of all. Second of all, most immigrants don't go into these areas. I'm sure not some guy named Juan and a guy named Jose in Guatemala say, you know what? I heard there's a lot of good jobs in Kentucky or West Virginia. They come into the big cities to work, or they work in jobs that nobody wants to work. That's about the immigrant side. Donald Trump injected $5.2 trillion into the stock market without anybody batted an eye, without anybody said anything. You know that, right? To keep it all from collapsing during the COVID crisis.
But they also cashed everyone a check too.
I know, $1,200 so, but they gave $5.2 trillion to $5.2 trillion. You know, $5 trillion is, that's almost a third of our.
I understand that,
but they were complaining about $800 billion.
Yes, because they didn't get a check. They didn't get a check. See, you can appease the people with just a small check. Like, that was enough to say, okay, this helps us too.
I agree with you. Since it's all about the money, but if you see policy-wise, the idiots. I mean, Donald Trump, he never delivered anything. He tried to take away the health care. Imagine every night they had a...
Wait, hold on. People said Obama gave people checks too. I didn't get a check from Obama in 2009. Did I? Am I misremembering this?
He gave you health care, didn't he?
No, I'm talking about like a cash check. I don't remember getting a check.
He gave these people the Affordable Act that some states are still denying until today, like Georgia and other states are still denying their citizens the right to have access.
I don't believe it.
To healthcare.
Wait, can I interject?
Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead. I was talking for 2 hours without any voice.
Listen. You guys can go back and forth on this like literally forever, right? And go, okay, this and that and this and that. But I just want to ask Omar just one question. What is the most productive thing to you right now? Like, what do you picture that we should do? You know, because I've already stated, okay, I'm hopeful, hopeful for the future, what we should do or whatever like that. But you just sit here really doomer pilled, like being a party pooper, bringing everybody down, right? Like why should we listen to you? Why should we listen to the political equivalent of an incel, right? Like why?
Leave the incels alone. I'm with the incels. I support the incels. Incels, they need love. Okay, hold on.
I agree with you, but the problem is like we would never listen to an incel for advice on dating, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I'm not an incel. I mean, I'm good at political talking. I mean, am I making sense?
I'm sure, but like,
you're selling me this dream. You're selling me this snowflake dream. Oh, everybody love each other. We go dance in the street. We throw snowballs at each other.
At least I gave hold on. This is your conversation. At least we knock on doors. At least we do whatever, right? Like you gave us nothing. You gave us nothing but doomium.
You're selling us fairy tale garbage. That's what you're selling. I'm just listening to you.
I literally go out there and knock on doors. What kind of fairy tale garbage are you talking about?
No, the debate. I'm just listening. I'm listening to you for entertainment.
What the fuck?
Hold on. I'm just listening to you for entertainment purposes. You're not making any sense. Well, we gotta love each other. We gotta kiss. And Napoleon. We fought the Germans.
When was the last time you knocked on the door?
What I'm saying is that we're doing okay. Our economy is good. Unemployment is haven't been like this in 60 years. Factories is the best, 800,000 factories. Things are going, but who's going to convince these poor whites that things are good? The economy is good, and they're still worried about the economy. The factories are coming back to their towns. Everything's coming back. We are doing very good right now. Joe Biden's economics is very good for the country right now. But how do we convince them? Because they hate you. You know what the Republican people are selling them? The genders. They're trying to groom our kids. They're dangerous. Get those books out of there.
Yes, it sucks. Dangerous. Yes, it sucks. But like, we need to focus on. We need to focus on the next step. All you do is complain. Like, you know that one person who just vents too much, and like they're always being a downer in the DMs, and you're just like, oh my god, I just don't want to listen to this right now. Like you're literally being that.
So you want me to go out and dance in the street or what?
That would actually be better. Not gonna lie, that would actually be better than whatever you're doing right now.
The neighbors will probably call the cops. They think Omar lost his head.
Okay, gang. We've arrived at the time allotted. I want to thank you.
You have something after this?
Well, I'm gonna go eat and do.
No, I have a prime case panel coming up.
I have to. Yeah, go ahead because you gotta shut the thing. So I have to download your.
Yeah, that's absolutely something you can do. You're allowed to do that. And gang, remember he's matching dollar for dollar on YouTube only apparently. So super chat on YouTube in the next 2-3 minutes while I close this out.
Watching.
Gang, if you do like this content, if you've been watching this, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It would really help. It would really support the channel. If you're watching this on Kick or Twitch, hit the follow button. Really helpful as well. As for checks, I do remember actually getting a check now in 2008 for like $400. It was very little.
It was a lot of money then.
No, it wasn't a lot of money then. I do vaguely remember this. It was being a stimulus check. Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna give food stamps here in outro. Okay, I'm gonna let her tell people where they can find her, where she can, where you can contact her, where she streams. And then once we do that, I'll basically tell. Oh, Fargo Lefty, thank you for the $20 on YouTube. And then on yeah, and then I'll just tell you what we got coming up in the week. But yeah, food stamps. Go ahead.
Yeah, so first of all, I just want to thank both Omar and Wix TV for having me on. I'm always available to come on and be entertaining for you guys, and always willing to come on and also provide my perspective as well, because yes, I do talk about politics very seriously as well, okay? But you can find me on Kick, so kick.com/foodshops, but you can also find me on YouTube, so at a food shop, so A and then food shops. And you can also go to my Discourse server, which is you can just find that in my YouTube. Yeah, if you go to my YouTube, then the Discord link is there. Or you can just DM me on Twitter. You can also DM me on Discord. Unlike other streamers, I welcome any discourse from any chatter. I bring them on and I just debate them. I debate them nonstop, okay? That's what I do. Okay? But otherwise, I'm more than happy to come on again. And yeah, that's all I do. I love answering questions. That's it.
Thank you.
Now you put your sunglasses on. You complain about mine, right?
Yeah. That's right.
Love
you, Omar.
Thank you, gang. Check her out. She's great. We'll probably have her on a normal panel show here.
We enjoyed the conversation. Thank you for coming. I really do. Yeah. And it's good to be challenged, but you're living in a fairy tale, though. But what we're gonna live?
You live in a fairy tale, okay? A fairy tale of hedonistic black desire of a hellhole, okay?
Reality.
I'm just kidding. I love you, Omar. Okay.
That's wow. That sounds so sexy.
Weird. Okay, I'll see you later.
Okay.
Bye. Okay, well, Omar, thanks again.
How much were the
and on YouTube alone, we've made $63.98.
Okay, I matched it. But why don't you? I'm gonna do two things with you today.
Please.
Send me your email so I could send you a link to the StreamYard so we could do reaction show in case we can't get a guest, or we could do a reactionary videos with the guest. You understand?
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm able to control it. And send me how I can send you the $60 whatever, because I want to help you out.
I'll take care of that. What we got coming up, gang? Tomorrow, tune in 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and Kick. Twitch, unfortunately, we can't stream it on Twitch because Destiny's banned on Twitch, so we can't have a Twitch stream. But on Kick and on YouTube, I will be live at 6 p.m. Eastern on Destiny's show, his Kick or Keep show. And if I win the game, I get $500 from that, which will be nice. So tune in and help me
money,
win.
Don't you?
It would be very nice. I could use the money. And yeah, it's going to be a political themed. Let's be real, gang. I helped him get most of the guests. I helped him with the topic. I gave him the topics. I gave him the guests. So we're also going to do a little coup against Carantos tomorrow. It'll be fun. Check it out. Wednesday, we're going to be talking to Aristocracy. That will be interesting. We're going to be talking to her about the Israel-Palestine situation as well as politics.
I would love to have been a part of that.
She's great. She likes the one-on-ones, unfortunately, but yeah.
Who's she gonna be with?
We might do call-ins on that after.
I'm going to definitely come in. Okay.
Yeah, I might do call-ins. We'll see what she's how she feels, what she thinks.
That's my territory.
Yeah. And then on Thursday, we're going to be talking to Tuna Chip TV about why he doesn't think we should have any sympathy for ourselves. That should be fun.
Wow.
Friday, we're going to have Sock Done Left versus the world. So we're gonna have a bunch of people yell at Sock Done Left about all his terrible takes. Okay, that's us. That's it. We're rating in. We'll go to Prime Kai. Say hi to Prime for us, and I'll see you guys later.
Take care. Oof. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Yeah, I'll DM you the deets, and
Okay.
I'll send you the link.
No problem.
Luckily,
No
my
problem.
YouTube or my email and my PayPal are the same, so get both.
Okay, yeah, send it to me because I want to link you to StreamYard. You can use it on your own. We're not.